Hi, I'm Audrey. I was diagnosed in October 2012.
My name is Gillian and Dorothy. I was diagnosed in November 2016 with stage 2B clear cell ovarian cancer.
My name is Dorothy Byers. I was diagnosed in December 2010.
When I was first diagnosed, ovarian cancer was the furthest thing from my mind. I was 42. I was relatively healthy. There was no family history.
I was diagnosed with peritoneal stroke tubal carcinoma in December. I think stage 4 was mentioned on the day. I can't honestly be sure. But I think it was fairly late, and here I am.
The best piece of advice I've ever been given is do not listen to anyone else. The doctors know you, they know your diagnosis. Lots of people will come with advice and stories. Don't listen to that. Go back to what your doctor has told you and stay positive.
The best bit of advice I think I have been given and would also give would be to try and be as open as possible about your diagnosis. I know people who find it very difficult to talk about what they're going through. But I wanted friends and family to know right away because I didn't want people to feel awkward or embarrassed about talking to me.
One of the tips that I would maybe give to somebody coming, in this being just recently diagnosed or going through chemotherapy is to keep a little chemotherapy diary of all the things that are going on throughout that sort of what I call the bubble period of chemotherapy. I did that. Not only did I just keep the diary of what the symptoms and the things that I experienced medically in my own body over the chemotherapy period, but even like things like people visiting me, what people said, what advice I got from visitors, all those sort of things I wrote down in my diary. And I found actually going back on that has been very helpful to me, not only just for the things that the medical people wanted to find out about what was going on in my body through chemotherapy, but just other things that happened and things that people said to me and how people encouraged me over that period.
It's hard to see the hope, it's hard to see the future, but you have to hang in there and see what comes.
The other bit of advice that I might also give along with that would be don't fight the fatigue, because it kicks in fairly quickly with the chemo, but you've been warned that that's what will happen and you know it's normal. And if you don't feel like doing anything, just don't do it, don't fight it.
And another thing would be don't forget about your partner and don't let your friends forget about your partner. I think that would be a wee top tip to tell your friends to think about your partner.
For women who have just been diagnosed, I would say hang in there. Just every day that you're waiting seems like a week, but just hang in there and take somebody with you to all your appointments. Write things down so you remember them. Get your doctors to write things down so you remember them, and take it a stage at a time, one day at a time, and you'll get there.
I feel my hope for the future would be put the cancer to the back of my mind and go on forward. And yes, there's life after ovarian cancer, and I've started going to things like Keep Fit and swimming and spending a lot of time with my grandson and those sort of things. So I think really just to say that there is life after ovarian cancer.
Yeah, it's good now. Initially it was very, very difficult, but now life's good.